Morning. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Let's see, Tara's here. Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to hang out for a little bit and then we'll get into the training. I want to talk today about the universe testing you and me. Is the universe testing us? That is the question. That'll be a fun one. Okay. All righty. Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, my dear, how are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. I'm good. It's good to see your face. And I think I saw on my phone that you just sent a message, so I'll listen to it later. Yeah. Was there anything you wanted to share right now? I mean, just doing a check-in with you, Tara, because obviously you're the one here. So, anything bubbling up, anything you want coaching on specifically?
Um, Not really today. Just here to hear what you have to um share. And so yeah, thank you.
Okay, that sounds good. No problem. And if there is anything, you let me know. Today, I was thinking about a lot of what I talk about in these and just videos that I do too are things that are come up in real life with clients and with things. And there's a theme of like, is the universe testing me? Like, why is this happening? Am I being tested again? And this whole concept of, oh, the universe is testing you. And I'm not sure that I get the theory of it, but I'm not sure that I like love that because yeah, I don't, I kind of sit with how I feel about that. But if I was, I think what I did was kind of break it up in my thoughts of like when you're trying to break through something if and it's a pattern that keeps repeating itself, is it a test from the universe, if you will? And I broke it up into like three different steps or different pieces to kind of explain the way that I see this theory out there in the spiritual world. And so the first one was if you feel like you're being tested by the universe, this is probably going to be for you in some actionable items or some things you can think about in this week moving forward. So, first of all, one of the core teachings of coaching, of the coaching work that I do, is that beliefs are really decisions condensed down. Like, even if it's a subconscious belief, somewhere in there, if we trace it back, there was a decision made about life, love, money, me, you know, the world, all that. We made a decision about something that we believe. So beliefs are really decisions, which when I break that down for people, it seems to feel helpful because a lot of people feel a little victim to their belief. Like they don't, you know, like, oh, I believe I'm not worthy. There's no way to change that, if you will. And an in is that that's really just a decision you made, probably a long time ago. And if you made a decision, even if it's subconscious, you can make a different decision. So it kind of gives us a little more power, if you will, putting it that way. So a decision, a belief is really a decision. And when we decide something, another thing I talk about all the time is the reticular activating system, the part of the brain that when you decide something, I think I told this story on one of my podcasts, is that I'm kind of starting to car shop. Like I've had a car, it's a 2021 and it's been great, but it was the car I had before both my kids had their licenses. So it was the car that I was like, mom, you know, going to the games and the sports and the all like the thing and the snacks, you know, even though they weren't kids, there was still snacking and friends and all that. And lately, now that both of my kids are sort of spread their wings, they've both got licenses, they both got their own cars. I'm like, okay, I think it's time for a little bit of an upgrade. You know, so that being said, one of the cars that I'm thinking of or that I really like is an Audi. I've never had an Audi. I like a white Audi with tan interior. It's just my preference. So now that I'm thinking of that, guess what? I see that car everywhere. I see it everywhere. Like when I'm go on my walks by the beach, when I'm going to appointments, I mean, I will see it everywhere. That's how our reticular activating system in our brain works. When we decide something, when we think about something, we tend to see it everywhere. We call it in. It's a red car. Another example, true story, when my son was like, I don't know, he was very young. He was like 8 or 9. His dad and him, I guess they were having a conversation, and they were talking about pink cars. And his dad said, okay, every time you see a pink car, you get $5. Well, they had to stop that agreement because Curran, my son, was seeing them everywhere. His dad was kept because his dad was like, I never see pink cars. And Curran was like, I see them everywhere. So he started pointing them out. And he made a lot of money off that. So again, that's how our RAS works in our brain. So back to, is the universe testing me? When we make a decision to make a change, it's what naturally happens with a change is that when you decide something, you bring it to your focus. And then we will see it everywhere. Now, you would think you would see the change everywhere. That might not be the case. What we see is a lot of what we don't want everywhere when we decide something. So if we decide, I'm done with living in lack. Let's just say that, right? I want to make more money. I want to create abundance, whatever that is, right? People get really frustrated because all of a sudden they get a bill in the mail they weren't expected, or the car breaks down, or the kids need this for the soccer and the this, or this happens, right? Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that you shouldn't move forward. It doesn't mean maybe that the universe is testing you or it's not for you. A lot of people will make that mean it. What it might also mean is that change is happening. And when change happens, there will be a natural, normal pushback, if you will. And so it might actually mean that it is happening if these extra bills are coming in when you're trying to create abundance, or it doesn't seem to be working or going smoothly. So that's the other part of it, is that when change happens, there is naturally resistance, and then our RAS makes us focus on that, which also makes it seem bigger, right? So that's the first part. Another part that I was thinking about this is um, another story. My son just got kicked out of our Netflix. So he called me the other day. He was like, what's the passcode? I gave him that. And then it's obviously I pay for it. So it's my email. And then he had to call me back for my email, got a verification code to let his computer, his laptop accept, my Netflix. So in a way, I kind of thought like, what if it's sort of the universe? We put out there that we want to change, and the universe is almost sending like needs a validation code. Like, how much do we really want this? Like, what is the code? And it's like almost checking in, if you will, or asking us, inviting us to hold the frequency. And if it is the abundance, the example that I just gave, wanting to create more abundance, no longer live in lack, sort of sending the verification code like the Netflix of like, can you really hold this, right? Can you really match the frequency of abundance, right? We need to show some sort of verification, if you will. It's just a little quirky way that my mind made up of like, oh, right, he needs the code for to say this, allow this account into Netflix, right? So it's the same thing of like, what is the verification code that we're ready for the change, if you will? So again, kind of a funny thing, but I was like, huh, that makes sense to me. It's kind of asking, like, how bad do you want it? Or can you really be on that frequency of abundance and can you hold it? Send the universe the verification code that you're ready, right? So that was another part of it for me. And the third part of like, is this the universe testing me? Is it change that's pushing back or how to move forward, that kind of thing? Is I'm always, and this is a huge thing for anyone who's living this kind of life, is we have to zoom out more. Oh, good. I'm glad you love that analogy. I'm like, does this make sense? But you guys get it. So, um, also zooming out more. Like I'm constantly inviting my clients and myself to really be that fly on the wall. Oftentimes, what we do, especially when we're in situations and circumstances of pressure, when we feel like the world is coming down on us, the weight on our shoulders, nothing seems to be working, nothing seems to be changing, we take things really personal and then we sort of marinate in that vibration, that frequency, that energy. So, as much as we can be that fly on the wall, and as I say, like zoom out, this is a practice that has saved me so many times. Whatever's going on in my life, zooming out and understanding we are part of so much of a bigger picture. And sometimes when it's all happening and we're in it, we can't see that picture when we're in it, but we can when we have a little bit more of a view and a connection to a bigger picture. It's kind of like, gosh, I can think back so many times to, I'm like thinking, so I'm like, oh my God, yes. So many situations where I was like, oh, why is this happening? And why is it taking so long? And what is this? Where I just felt like I was in the mud, right? And when I was in it, I couldn't see the forest through the trees. But now, looking back now, on it, having a little bit of a view and a relationship to it of in the past, I can see so perfectly why it needed to go the way that it did, why it took so long, which really, I mean, whose timeline are we on? It's probably long in our own timeline, but if you really want to get funky, does time even exist? So that's a whole other video. But now in retrospect, I can look back to all those times in my life where I now see how it was curated perfectly. I had to meet that person. I had to suffer for that long or experience that challenge is a better word for that long to meet that person or to have this thing happen that then opened doors in this way, right? I had to stay in that energy for X amount of time during whatever years so I could grow or evolve in this way. What I'm trying to say is, you can probably, all of you, look back on your life and see how it actually was perfect. How even though it didn't go the way or take the time that we wanted it to, now that you look back, you get it, right? There's so many things in my life that I can do that with. So, spanning out a little bit when you're feeling tested by the universe, like, is this working? Is this right? Will I ever break through? Spanning out a little bit and even looking at your past and saying, oh, okay, I get it. I had to go through that to become this person, to become this woman, to meet this person, to have that opportunity unlocked, to learn this lesson, to evolve in this way. I had to have that happen. So, same things right now. If you're struggling right now, the universe, God, if you will, there's so much of a bigger picture that we can't see. And for me, when I can trust that, when I get connected to that energy and I come out of my own has to look like this, has to happen in this time, has to be like this sort of story that I tell myself, I come into so much more trust and openness that then, to me, that's when all the opportunity unlocks. So, just even whoever is listening to me, just checking in your own body, in your own self, in your own situations of like, what is the stories that I'm telling myself that's actually keeping me smaller? That's keeping the blessings away. That's kind of keeping me in this box. And when I can let go and open up to a grander plan, to a bigger plan, then seeing what's available and staying open to that and open in that way, that those have always been the time when clients come out of nowhere, when this opportunity was handed to me, when I get a unexpected check in the mail, not just a bill in the mail, when this speaking engagement has happened, when this training, invitation from a business for me to go and train, when that happens. It's always when I'm in the energy of open, available, and part of a bigger plan. It's when we have these have to be energy around us that keep us in the struggle longer. So, again, just thinking about this whole thing of like, if you're being challenged, am I being tested? If it's a test from the universe, when the first one, remember, when you decide the decision, beliefs are just decisions, and when you decide, your perception changes, right? You will probably see the ways that it's changing, and it'll feel like adversary, but it'll also, if you look for it, you'll also see signs that things are changing, right? So that's the first one, the RAS. The second one is the verification code, right? It's like the universe just needs us to verify. Do you want this? How bad do you want this? Can you hold the frequency? So the to do really is just to hold that abundant frequency. That's the verification code to the universe, if you will. And then the third part of this is zooming out, always zooming out and knowing that you're part of a bigger plan, that it's not your timeline, my timeline per se, but it is about the grand scheme of things and opening up to opportunities and working with certain people to move through. That's another thing, is like sometimes I had to, invest in myself to move things forward. Sometimes I had to let go of a relationship or a friendship or something that was holding me down to move forward. So it's like looking at all these other areas of our life, and it's so much easier to do that when we can zoom out, trust our gut, and then take the action to move boldly forward. So those are kind of the three things that came up for me this week when we were talking about, is the universe testing you? And so look at your own life, who's ever watching this, and start to implement that and see that, and then really check in too. All these training videos are not just for you guys to listen to Jen talk. I mean, who wants to hear that? But it's more for implementation. It's for you to feel this, see what resonates, and then go implement it into your life. And if there's any area that you are feeling really challenged or stuck, or it feels like that same damn pattern over and over again, implement these three and see what comes of it for you and what needs to change, and how can you make a shift in that way. And sometimes it's just that shift. It's that sort of, okay, stepping into that version of you, that person who is on the other side of the challenge. And that's the shift that needs to be made, because all the things, and if you're in this group, it's always an internal shift in here is what reflects out there. 99.9% of the world is waiting for things to change out there so then they can change in here. We do it the opposite. So it's the internal, it's the taking responsibility, it's the looking at all the parts of us and facing that. And that doesn't have to be a torture. It can just be, oh, okay, this is what I need to look at to make this shift, and then doing so and moving forward. So that's kind of the training for today. Um, and then, so Tara, did that speak to you at all? I know you said you like that analogy, which I so appreciate. And if there's anything you want to share, great. If not, that's fine too. But since you're here, I'll check in.
Yeah, no, I love that analogy because I've seen so many videos of like the
Mm,
tests being,
right?
first new, and I'm just like, I don't know, like, I don't know. Anyways, but I like it does make sense. It's like, are you going to alchemize the
Mm,
frequency?
yeah.
Like, are you going to take that situation? You're going to get an opportunity to show up differently in that situation
Hmm.
and not just bypass the whole situation, but like, so it's like, I just see myself next time, like, verification code, like tapping, like, commence. I'm open to the new
Right?
verification
And it's so funny because my
code.
son was like, he's like, Mom, it's gonna expire in 60 seconds. Give it to me now. And I'm like, so it's like, but we laugh about it. But I love that that's what sit with you because, yeah, I was kind of playing with that myself too the last couple days of like, okay, that's what's the code that I'm needing, that shift. And like, sometimes it doesn't have to take as long as we think. It's not as hard as we think that it's just this like, and I know Tara, you're super somatic person like me. So for me, it's like body, it's, posture,
Mm.
heart open, chest wide, like, I'll share in this group really quick. My daughter, who's 21, she was home for the weekend and I got to spend time with her. And she has been going through a breakup. It's been many, many months, but then they just kind of, when she was back home here, they reconvened and there was a lot of sadness that she was purging. And as she's just doing this, she's like, the cutest little thing, but she was just like, and I just like came behind her and like, oh, sure. And it was like everything changed. Like it doesn't mean that she wasn't feeling sad. She's grieving a relationship, but it's like she allowed breath in instead of mom, and it was like, oh, okay, so again, also looking at your body and allowing some of that energy in. And sometimes it is just having a cry and open your heart. And anytime I do affirmations or prayers or anything, a lot of people do this. My body naturally does that. That's just me. I'm not saying that's the way anyone should do it, but to me, it's just this open, like receiver mode. So sorry to intervene, but I love that
Yeah,
verification code thing.
that was great. Yeah, I'll definitely be practicing that for sure.
Yeah, good, good, good. Yeah. And the whole point really is, again, I think we get stuck, especially in the spiritual community of like, oh my God, it's testing me. Is this a test? Should I quit? Da da da. And I think it's really just about again, noticing that a lot of that, so much of all of this is just the stories we tell ourselves. And it's not so much, to me, it doesn't matter so much if it's a test. It's more just like, what is the invitation? What is this moment, this challenge, this pattern inviting you to do right now? And is it letting go of something? Is it setting a boundary? Is it saying what needs to be said? Is it investing in yourself? Is it turning your phone off for a while and taking a break? Is it, what is the invitation? And just to me, keep asking, I always keep asking myself that question and also allowing ourselves to sit in the question. That's another big thing for me is like we all want answers right away. That's not usually how the universe works, right? So being able to just sit in the question, sit in the don't know ness, right? But open to the answer. I think so much of the magic can happen then, as opposed to this like needing it to look this way, be this way on this timeline. And sitting in the question just invites more magic. So maybe that's the heart of the practice this week is where can you,
Hmm.
where can I, where can any of us sit in the question if there is a struggle, if there is a challenge, if there is an ongoing pattern that you're trying to break through, what is it inviting you to do? And sitting in the question, sitting in the chaos, sitting in the mess sometimes, sitting in the confusion. That's okay. We don't always have to have the answer right away. And I think that's where a lot of us mess ourselves up is thinking we need to know right now. That's just another story we tell ourselves. So, and it's how we grow our emotional intelligence. The more we're able, we talked about it last week, the more we're able to grow our capacity to be with, the more we grow as humans, the more we allow into our lives. So, not having to know it all is kind of a superpower, I think. you know, so that's the practice for the week, sitting in the question.
Yeah. 'Cause it's always like for me, I'm just like I'm always open to knowing what I don't know. But I
Mm,
think there's like if I'm always expecting to know before, then I block miracles, where it's just
mm.
like the wow, like this met me here. Like I didn't have to work so hard for this. I didn't have to know how to do this and this and this and do it perfectly. Like it allows for I'm open to knowing
Mhm.
where I need to be, but allowing for the mystery of the universe to like participate and show you how miraculous life can be.
Right, right.
I guess it is like a form of trust and receiving and
Mm,
open, not just open to knowing, but open to receiving.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally. And I don't know about you, Tara, or anyone else that listens to this, but it's like when I really think about it or sit and contemplate, some of the most miraculous things in my life, the best parts of my life, the best people in my life, the best things I've done have happened unexpectedly in a way, have like happened in a way that was like not of my doing, right? It wasn't like me,
Mhm.
it's gonna look like this or no, 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 no. It's like it's kind of unfolded. And so we forget that when we're trying to like plan and when we get scared and when we're like, oh, what if it doesn't work out? But I'm always trying to remind myself, man, I couldn't have planned the friendships that I have with the close friends I have, or even, past relationships. I'm not in one now, but any of the men that I've been with, like that were wonderful humans. I couldn't have planned it to be that way. And most of them I didn't meet to like set out to meet someone. It just kind of happened organically. My kids, right? And maybe people plan their children, but I'm not even talking about that part. The humans they turned out to be wasn't my doing. It was like this amazing unfolding of who they're meant to be. That wasn't me making it happen. So the more I sort of remind myself of that too, is like, man, the stuff that I make happen aren't always the best parts. It's like you said, being open to the magic, those have always worked out the best, you know? So it's a good reminder for all of us as the world is feeling pretty heavy sometimes to like, what is the magic there? And can I be open to the magic? Sit in the question and not have to, especially us as women. I feel like our superpowers are in receiving, they are in just the coherence and not in the manipulation, meaning making things a certain way,
Yeah.
you
I
know.
feel like the term manifestation
Mm.
kind of gets into the whole like make it happen kind
Uh-huh.
of vibe,
Mhm.
like essence. And it's like, I don't even use that word anymore just
Yeah.
because it's not a feminine word.
Hmm.
But fruition, like, can this come to fruition? Like, and then it opens up, like, I feel like it can breathe more. So, like,
I love that.
I feel like I definitely, when I try to go into manifestation, I feel like the control aspect, like in my
Hmm.
body, like turn on, and it's like very masculine, doesn't leave room for like the feminine receiving. It's kind of like control, which is like men's superpower, like
Yes,
biologically.
amen.
They do manifest, like that is
Totally.
great for them. But
Hmm.
in this body, in a woman's body, it's just it behaves so differently.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
I
I
I
like that.
Yeah, I love that. And it's such a bigger conversation. And like, oh man, you and I could probably grift on that for ages. But yes, I agree. It's funny you say that because I had posted an old video that I did probably like 2 year and a half or so ago. And it's like Eckhart Tolle, the sound of it is Eckhart Tolle talking about manifestation. And I really love what he says. It nails it. But I was like, oh, I haven't used that word manifestation in ages because it hasn't felt really aligned in the last couple of years. And I used to talk about it all the time. But same, I agree with you so much. And if we really look at, if we want to take it biologically, men in general are the hunters. They were built to go out and make it happen, to hunt, to like get, to bring home, and women are biologically the receivers. We take what we're given and then create more, a meal, a baby, like, so we do work very differently. Without saying too much, I couldn't agree more with what you said.
Yeah,
And so that
I love that.
that wording to me has made a big difference, especially as I get older and really step into, like you, Tara, I know you have your own journey, but for me, really quick. I've been the single mom for a long time, so I've had to step into some of my more masculine, gotta run the business, gotta pay the bills, and I'm grateful for that. And it's stretched me and taught me a lot. And I feel like this part of my life is a huge shedding of that. Like, I feel like I've learned all those lessons. I've got myself to a great place. And my next breakthrough personally is that, okay, now I want to like 10 times what I did there, financially, but be in flow. Like, I'm not about hunting anymore. Like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
Like I want to
yeah,
be in the flow
yeah,
and see what I can do from there. And I love that you said that because I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And it's scary though for me because I can do the hunting, but I also it's worn on me after all these years, you know?
yeah. It'll exhaust your adrenals as a woman, like it's a completely different chemistry that our anatomy isn't and organs aren't designed to process
Hmm.
anyway. So it's like it's almost for how I see it in my body. My
Yes.
my it's like taking an idea, a seed, and like let my masculine be the seed, and then I get to bring that to fruition. So it's like I get to be
Mm.
fruitful with my masculine essence, and it's like loving loyalty to my highest desires and bringing it about. So it's more of just like a an internal upholding of like right like the the center line, and then my feminine fascia can get really curvy and like really like
Ooh, yeah.
expressive, and like you were saying, like women are the receivers. Is like the masculine is the antenna and the feminine is the receiver. So I love
Mm.
that you were saying
Amplify.
it's like
Yeah.
yeah. And so it's just it comes back every time like with fascially, and um
Hmm.
it is a very con conscious choice though to move through letting go it, redefining it and taking off I call it taking off the fascial pants and putting
Mm.
our fascial skirt on because our root systems are
Yes.
so different, run so different. Anyways, this superimposed pants.
I absolutely love that. I love that so much. And I think the the healing, the um, not empowerment, but the greatness that we're stepping into is to actually be able to, like, enough of this, men suck or women this, or like,
Yeah.
it's more, it's how do we embody the greatness that is the man and the woman and how they work together. Because that's like, I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. The man and the woman, they create life.
Yeah.
you know
We if we can uphold each other, like it is pure like wisdom magic. Like I feel it, it's like you become not in a codependent way, but hold together because there are two physical pieces. You have the antenna and receiver, and you have it within. And the more, like, I've noticed, like, the more I embody the wholeness of my feminine fascial expression, the more I seek to worship
Mm,
men, like in their highest order. So it's like, it's, it doesn't become like the more empowered I become, the less I need a man.
mm,
It's
mhm,
like the more I value how they who they are and their technology and
mm.
how they can show up and their potential and how it can work. So it's very different than right the feminism putting the pants on, you know, and then
Totally.
it's competition.
Whole other like level. Yes.
Yeah, it's actual dropping into
Mm.
the truth and of what a woman
Yeah,
is on every level, mentally, psychologically, fascial, body, emotions, like it all it's a huge endeavor we're all in for sure.
totally. Totally. I love how you explain it, and I couldn't agree more. And I think that's what we're moving into. And what I know, my coach brain is like, there's always the breakdown before the breakthrough. And we are very much in that division, the breakdown, the fight, the men this, women this, da da da. We're moving out, but that's what, if we hold that frequency, that's what's possible next, is like that embodied, empowered
Mm.
masculinity, femininity, and the power that happens when they come together. And whatever darkness is out there in the world, that those powers together, we got this. Right?
Exactly. Right. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just we're in the trenches, so
We are very much
um,
in the
I'm
trenches.
just,
Yes, I think we all
like,
feel that too. Yeah. And I love this conversation. So you and I have to talk about this more, but the Zoom's going to end soon, but what I want to say is that exactly what you were saying, Tara. I think the invitation now, I mean, lawnmowers out there. I think the invitation now is to hold the frequency. And for most of the people in this group are, there's a couple men, but women. So hold the frequency of that. We both have both inside, but like for me, I'm very much a woman. Like I feel that. And I think right now I am being invited in every area of my life to really trust that flow, to not have to manually make stuff happen or work hard and all the things that I did for so many years that worked to a certain level. Now this is the breakthrough. So like holding that frequency of the empowered woman and man, you know,
yeah,
and being open to that. So that's Tara and I just
love it.
solved the world.
Right? It's a collective
You're welcome,
process.
everyone. Oh my
We're done.
God. I love it. It's so good to see you, hon. It's great to see you
You
smile.
too.
I will check the my Instagram soon. We'll talk, I'm sure.
Okay, thanks so much, Jen.
Okay, of course. All right, everyone. See you next time. Bye.